Oh, wow.
And what do we hear, gentlemen and ladies?
We're back here. We're back again. It is, what is it? What's the fucking day today? The fucking 12th?
It is the 12th.
The 12th of March, 2018. This is the Nothing Sacred Show. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And we can actually hear the music, or he can hear the music.
I can hear it. That's why I'm saying, well, wow, I'm actually hearing music.
Pretty fucking crazy. We should get that consistent so we can actually plan around that. But, hey, can't have that.
Oh,
anyway, yeah, it's been a couple weeks. We haven't been around. We've been, have family and just different things going on. So, that
we did have an awesome interview with Randy Sutton, though. That was a killer.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one. I thought hopefully he enjoyed himself. I think it was a good interview.
Good.
And yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to catch up on. The main drama, I guess we should just jump into the main drama.
It's like the bite out of the first beef burger that's there.
Is of course the thing that happened. Maybe people don't really know about this, but I guess your little interest that you had fell apart.
The girl I talked about a couple times on the shows, the one that I said I really didn't know how I felt about her or whatever. Well, I guess, and this is the problem with social justice warriors, man. They hear a word and it's just they have a knee-jerk reaction to it. Never mind the context it was used in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even paying attention to that. It's like you could say, I hate the word nigger. And they'll be like, you said nigger, you're racist. And you're like, but I said I hate the word. Doesn't matter, you still said the word. So they're just caught up in words. Well, I guess she heard one of the shows and sent me a text basically telling me that she didn't want anything more to do with me. And, I'm a racist, and I use the word spick in the podcast, and that's strictly dedicated to Puerto Ricans. And I'm like, whoa.
First of all, the funny thing about that is you don't think that. You just use the word to describe anybody who's and that.
Most likely, that person is Mexican.
Yeah. Yes, because you don't even give. That's how little you really give a shit. It's not even. It's just a word. You're just throwing out words. It's almost like it's like you're these guys. I want them all to die.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You just get pissed off, and then you throw out words about people you don't know. Now, here's the thing about it. So basically, what happened was she got all batshit crazy.
Oh well, the batshit crazy came later. I didn't even know what happened was she blocked me on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see her posts, and I'm like, well, fuck. So I sent some friends to actually go check out her Twitter, and they were reading me some of the shit. One person even copied and pasted a few of the tweets, and it was mainly her calling me a racist and saying this and saying that. Well. Okay, number one, this is kind of like what you were saying about your friend, where you don't want to voice your opinions around them because they'll all of a sudden, regardless of how good of a friend you've been, and how good you've been to them, that all goes down the toilet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, it does. It doesn't matter. And it also, it's just kind of funny that you basically used to love this chick or feel like you were in love with her.
That's my next point, man. I mean, it's like, hey, she's obviously Puerto Rican. I was in love. If I was a racist, why would I be in love with this chick? This is the first chick I actually went down on.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, remember I used to never do that. I'd never fucking, eat pussy.
Mm-hmm.
I was always I used to say, oh, that's where they pissed. That's where they, oh, fuck that. But I was so into her, dude. I went down on her. And she did have a post up there about me sucking in bed. I'm sure I did because, number one, it was my first time doing that. Number two, I was just nervous as shit. It was like the first chick that I was actually.
I love how that's an insult that can be used too. Like, oh, all men think about is sex. All they do is worry about sex. And what's the first insult that comes out of the mouth? Well, you were bad in bed. Ew.
Yeah. Oh, and the guy's gonna be like, "Fuck you, bitch."
And brilliant chick, she blocks you, and then she talks shit about you.
Yeah, right. So I don't even know what the fuck was said.
Yeah. So she just she wanted to talk shit about you. Part of me thinks it has to do with the fact that you mentioned on the show that you weren't not necessarily not into her, because you kind of were, I guess.
I didn't know what I was.
But you weren't like, oh my god, the freaking love. You weren't, oh god, she's so amazing. You're just like, I don't know what's going to happen with this. So you weren't like, so that might have pissed her off too. That might have made her feel bad because you didn't devote your soul to her,
Right, like, aren't we back together again or something? I mean, we didn't talk like that. I mean, we talked on the phone once in a while. We'd text, shit like that. But I mean, it was never... I didn't think it was getting to that level.
She seemed to, because she's like, whenever I get into a guy again, and she was saying all this shit, which is kind of funny. She was really butthurt by it, basically.
Apparently.
She,
you know what? I will say though, the most disturbing thing she posted up there, the post that really got me was the one where she said one of my friends stole money from her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like thinking, okay, which friends? She only met 4 friends when she was here. She met you when she was hanging out with you, Cruise Control.
Yeah.
Like you'd steal money?
I didn't know. I don't do that shit. You know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me. Those don't even go together. And then let's see, we got G Motors. You know,
yeah,
shit, he'll find money and give it back to you.
Yeah.
You know, so who's left? Mac Metro? You know, he was my roommate.
Maybe he did, and maybe she was being racist because she
the black
maybe
guy,
she thought it was him. Yeah. So yeah, she didn't meet anybody else. She only met the 4 of us, right? That's it.
Well, and then this other guy named Alan. We went out to dinner one night. This friend of mine that I met. I don't know if I ever talked about Alan.
No.
From the I met him off. Funny enough, I met him off the suicide hotline, but he wasn't suicidal. He was just really fucked up over this chick, you know, that he had been dating. But anyway, we got to talking and we kind of became friends, and we actually went and hung out a couple times. And so when she was here, he had a girl with him, so we all went and kind of did a double date type thing. But anyway, yeah, dude, she really got fucking worked up over that. I was like, holy fuck, you know?
She was like, and then all these guys. And here's the thing, man. Let's just be honest, dude. You really, in a way, you can't blame her about the whole word thing, because really it's. Most people today, it's pretty much taboo to really say certain words in certain ways.
Yes, but this is that kind of show. It's like the climate for that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. You don't give a shit, and you know, and we're basically just, you know, and the only thing scary, of course, is whether this can be taken outside of it, can affect any other parts of your life, which it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's the world we live in is it can. So just be you know, I've said this, just be wary. Like I don't need to say because for me. Like the whole word thing, I'm becoming more and more of an individualist every day, so I'm kind of getting away from all that shit even more. But it's not because, oh, well, I think it's awful. I just know the way the climate is, that you don't have a defense, man, honestly. If someone came at you with and said, you know, even me, you know, we don't have a defense because what we're saying is racist and, you know, sexist and all this shit.
So we kind of know that. You know,
yeah, we know because we know that, and we know what that we're not that way. We know that we're just
exactly.
bullshitting.
Well, that's the thing too.
We're basically trying to show the absurd by being absurd.
Exactly.
You know, by focusing on the stereotypes.
Well, yeah, because there are people that fit those stereotypes, and you know, if we're really racist, why is it most of the interviews we do have are rappers, black dudes, you know, and. Fuck, dude, we shouldn't even have to explain ourselves.
Yeah, because
really.
We do the same thing with everybody. The whole thing is that they only focus on the ones that they don't like. Like, she didn't give a shit when we say cracker or redneck, white trash. She doesn't care about that. She doesn't give a fuck about that. She probably agrees that there are certain people out there who fit the stereotype of white trash or whatever. And that's the thing. You weren't even thinking about It's like you were specific, like those goddamn Puerto Ricans. You're just like a negative, they're Spanish-speaking spick, blah, blah.
I said this spick motherfucker.
Blah.
Yeah, you know?
So what I'm thinking is a combination of that and also of the fact that you didn't say you were completely down and into her. But here's the good thing about this, man.
Hell, at least I know how I feel now.
Yeah, what if you really? What if it was the fact we had gotten back and that fire had sparked again in your fireplace, man, and you got that roaring flame.
Then all of a sudden this happened.
And then you're like, yeah, she's fucking amazing, man. She's the greatest, man. I'm so happy we're back talking. I knew I liked her before, but now I'm fucking loving.
Destined to be together, or some dumb shit like that, right?
Making my previous loves feel like sparks in the wind while this is a raging bonfire, and then she goes boom.
Yeah.
And then she drops this. Or let's go. Let's say you do go, and here's where I'm gonna get on you, dude. All right, dude.
Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Here we go.
All right. So
this is coming.
Why you were gonna go out and hang out with her, right?
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What were you going to do when you went and hung out with her?
I was going to go to Comic-Con with her.
You were going to Comic-Con. Okay. This is you who doesn't like the Glee boards or the Boogalons or whatever. You make fun of my fantasy ass, watching comic book movies and getting into comic books. You don't give a fuck about this at all. And you were going to spend money to go hang out and spend money on the tickets to go or did you already do that?
No, I didn't buy anything. That's the good thing. I didn't.
Okay, good. But you were gonna just be like, I don't get, dude. It'd be like you going to a fucking like, hey man, we're going to a gay rodeo, dude. A tranny convention, yeah. A trans LGBTQ fucking
event.
What you'd be like, fuck it, I might get some pussy. I'm gonna fucking. So when I found out that, I'm like, dude, I gotta get on you. Yeah.
Well, okay, and that's fair game. That's fair. No, the thing was she was going to be working that as far as interviewing all these people and shit. So I thought, well, that might be kind of cool, like just to see her work, to see how she.
Oh, okay. So wasn't you just going like, all right? She's actually doing interviews, like what, a YouTuber or something, her own YouTuber or something? Or?
Yeah, she does a blog, I guess that she writes. So she has all these interviews up there, and so this is what I guess she gets to get in free. Yeah, because she has a media pass.
But think if you would have went out there, got all entangled, got all emotionally more invested than you are now.
You remember how I used to be over her?
Yeah.
Remember?
So what if you were like that and she had said that? You'd be like, "Nah, please, Dad, I forgive you. God. I'm so sorry. I'll never say it again." How would you react? I wonder how you would react to that, dude. I wonder if you'd be like, "Fuck," because right now you're like, "Oh, okay," and then she kind of. Put her hand on the table, confirmed like, well, I'm glad I'm not involved with this bitch anymore. She's fucking psycho. She's
reaffirmed it for me, like, oh, thanks. Well, did me a favor.
Yeah, because
I know how I feel now.
Basically dodged a bullet there because you're like, I don't know how I feel, and I wonder, did that have anything to do with it? You think, like?
I don't know. It was just I got this text, the first text, and she said, I listened to your podcast. Spic is strictly aimed at Puerto Ricans, and you also said chink, and I'm part Chinese.
Oh, okay, so when she said other things, she didn't care. It only cared when it matched her ethnicity.
Right. So and then she made there was a Twitter post, I think, where she said, you wonder why you don't get any rappers on your show? Well, a white guy that is comfortable with using the word nigger all the time, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, look, bitch, I don't say nigger, Very rarely do I say it. I say nigga. If
you do, you're not a racist because of your actions. Your words are just throwing out. It's like throwing shit at a wall. Like,
yeah. I feel that way? No. Did we ever come out and say, man, I fucking hate Spics, or I hate, we never said that. It was just talking shit,
Talking shit. It doesn't fucking matter. Basically, we're bullshitting, and we know we're bullshitting, and we don't mean it. It's just all this fucking bullshit. So, but don't say it if you don't mean it. Bullshit. We're having fun. So we're gonna say what it's saying, but the fact is that she only cared about those, and then she thought you were like insulting her personally, And of course you said you said,
and I never did anything to disrespect her. I've never.
You were gonna go listen to her interview people about dragons and shit, and that's called you being. Of course, you wanted to fucking just pop that probably, and that's what you were hoping for, the real reason.
Well, and that I was thinking that's probably going to happen. At least I get some toe.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. I could roll. And then who knows? Like I said, I didn't know how I felt, so maybe. Maybe I was starting to catch feelings a little bit, but
it got you early enough so you weren't like, oh, fuck, what did I do? And you start like wondering about how maybe I should have said something different, and
no, I'm not regretting this at all. It's just one of those things.
It should have happened. This is like a dodge bullet situation where you're like, all right, I kind of got, because she went batshit. She started talking and insulting everything about you, and you weren't doing that. You weren't good in this, and it's like. All right, well, that's how you really... you're just going to go off that because of something that... You're not even talk to me about it, and the conversations that we had, like, during the week, it's not like you're
It just comes up in a text. Oh, well, you don't even want to call me and talk about this shit?
No. No, because two things. Either she's upset about the words, obviously, because that's just, and I'm pressed, and she kept talking about that, about being,
being subjugated.
Being subjugated for all this blah, 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 and So that, and then you've got the just the general like extremism of her it just wouldn't have worked out, man. It's
her
just
temper. Oh yeah,
it's just a good. And she was all I never liked because she did some fucked up shit. To me, she blurbed some shit about things when I was younger. Because I laughed at her and made a joke, even though it wasn't at her. It's because she got pooped on by a bird. It was at a and. And I said something, and she fucking, and I just made a joke. It's like, made us, that's a shitty.
She totally turned against
That's a shitty day, and she was upset about it. And then so she went off and she told she spread words about, I told her I liked some girl, and she spread it all around. So it's like, damn, So if someone's gonna do that, I never got beyond that, because when someone does that, that just means that they're just vindictive people, and they're
apparently not much has changed, huh?
Apparently not. I guess growth in life, and Like, I probably wouldn't even said the same joke. I might have been, oh, God, that's all, but when I was younger, I was just, I was me, I thought.
Yeah, we all have our things, that we did and
so there's things I probably would have handled it a little bit differently, but maybe I wouldn't, because I didn't think, I was, like, trying to make it, hey, it happens to every, joking about it, and she got pissed, and then just spread it around, and of course, played it off like she wasn't upset, so the whole thing is, I didn't dig her.
So anyway. You weren't really, yeah.
No, so I was like, oh, okay, that's her. It's got to be, her when you were talking about it a lot. And I was like, well, and now it's good that it's not. It's good. It's basically gone. It's dodging a bullet, man. Dodging that bullet. You weren't.
There's a reason. Well, this should be a lesson. You think I would have learned with Koala.
Yeah.
But it's a reason why that person's in your past. You don't reach back to them. Well. My problem is I get curious. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wonder what they're up to. I wonder what they're doing. And I don't come in with the intention of dating or anything. And then, bam, before you know it, you're going, well, okay, something's going at the end. We're moving here, folks.
Yeah. And here's the thing about this. I think we'll wrap this up. The funny part is that she obviously dug you a lot more than you were digging her at this point, I think.
Apparently.
Because she's like, every time a person gets in my, they always, and it's like, wow, you weren't even fucking, you were barely even, you were just talking.
Yeah, we hadn't seen each other, and you're just texting and talking.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Basically, you dodged the bullet. You weren't blindsided. So,
nope.
And that's kind of when I want to jump into something of mine, because, we always go through your shit. So this is my new concept. It's called Blindsided. All right.
Okay.
And basically, what it is we both live our lives where, and maybe it's more for me than you, because I am kind of half in the sighty world more than you are, so I don't see certain things. But it's where you get used to, like, fucking living your life, and your eyesight thing isn't really a big deal, right?
It doesn't really have any bearing on anything you do.
Yeah, but, it has a bearing. It's there, like, I look close to stuff, but it's like, I look close to stuff. It's not a big deal.
You still can do it. You have a way of doing it.
Exactly. Well, blindsided is the term when you get fucking knocked in the face with a limitation. You're like, oh, well, shit. So this happened to me this week, basically. I had a crazy week. I had been offered a different job opportunity, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was like one of those things where you got to hire on Tuesday. So I got an interview. Basically, I went in the interview, and I did fine. They said, come back Tuesday, and the first half of the day will determine whether it's basically your final interview. If you make it then you're on the job. Okay. And this is kind of another thing where I kind of dodged a bullet, and because I'm not happy with my current position right now. It's just not working for me. I mean, it's just so negative, and just a lot of things I don't dig. Although I'm kind of pulling up my big boy pants a little bit too, because that's another thing I want to talk about a little bit, because it kind of gave me some perspective. Because so basically last week I got this interview, and go to a Tuesday and see how it goes. So I'm all worried about it, how I am, over the weekend, So I apologize to Craig, and he came out. So I don't think I was in a decent mood.
All he said was you were going through some emotional stuff. He didn't say
and it was. It was just my outlook on shit, because you get yourself in the habit of being so negative. Like, you were like that for a long time. Like, remember how?
Fuck yeah.
It's like you get in the habit of just being negative about everything. Oh, this sucks, and what am I doing? And then you're like, why am I thinking like this? And you start thinking about berating yourself and getting hard,
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me? Why am I doing? And so that was kind of my mindset the whole weekend. But basically on Friday, I'm like, oh well, I should have asked about the font size on the screen, and just certain things. I'm like, well, normally I can learn things pretty quickly, so I'm not used to having issues. So I go in there on Tuesday, and I'm there for about 20 minutes, and we go into this thing, and the instructor, who basically, the trainer, who the first thing she says, first of all, she goes, this is a very high competitive job. It's basically almost like a telemarketing job, basically.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, cold calling people, cold calling insurance, not insurance, but real estate agents, and ask them about certain shit, like, so.
Selling them some kind of product or some shit. Oh, fuck.
Okay. So yes, and you're like, oh god, why would you want to do
that? That just kind of just turns my stomach even thinking about it.
Well, the money was supposedly better. It's a weird way they paid you out in cash, and the amount of money I'd be making per hour was the same as I'd be making now. So everyone's like, so there's no risk, But the first thing she says is, well, and this job, is competitive. There's also not a lot of job security. And I was like,
like, doesn't sound very good to me.
So I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be right for this even then. But then I get into the room, and there's basically, it's a screen where you have to read the script exactly as they have it. You read the script, and then if they give you a pushback, You know, like if they say
like a rebuttal, like fuck you.
Then you got a list of rebuttals you can choose from, and you read exact text. So basically, I would have to be really quick about clicking on certain things and reading certain things on the screen. And normally I'm okay with that. And if they had given a time, like basically what they want to do is they wanted to get you training and then have you on the phones that same day calling people.
Oh, so they want you in and out of training. Like you get an hour of training, that's it.
Yeah, basically. And if they had given a full week of training where you know we're doing role play and I can look at the system and really get the system down, because there's 2 screens I got to look at, which is, so if it was something like that, then it might have worked out. But basically, about there for an hour, she goes, "Hey, I don't want to waste your time."
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, you know what? You're probably right, because it was like I basically told her, I said, if there was more time to train, I'd have more time to get used to the screen. But if you want me on the phones this afternoon, it's probably not going to work out. And there were like 10, 12 people there. So, and they were only going to hire like 2 or 3 of them. So I had a feeling that because first of all, why would they bother with someone having to worry about their eyes and adjusting shit for them and making it, adaptive, well, let's move this over here and do this, why would they worry about that when they've got 10 other people they could just choose from and throw on the phones same day,
right,
who don't have that issue.
Yep.
And that's not a problem to me. It was a waste of time. It would have been a waste of time.
Oh, totally.
But basically, it's still Blindside. It's like, oh,
Right, like it's your vision that was slowing you up.
Yeah, it was my vision. It's a total vision thing. It was nothing else other than my vision. I mean, otherwise I would have been able to do the job. And I've been having that issue with my current job where some visual issues have been happening with just working certain the programs that I have to look up all the time and looking around the screen and doing certain things. So I've kind of had it, but this is just like a total oh, hey, gotta remind you,
like,
you're a blindo, you're visually impaired, you're legally blind. Remember that. And it was like, oh,
yeah, you can't run from it forever.
Well, because I mentioned it to them, but I didn't, and I looked at the screen, and the font size is fine. I could read everything fine, but it's just like switching between those things without having a lot of practice with the screens.
Oh yeah.
That they just basically said, the lady just said, look, this is probably going to be probably not going to be the right fit for you. I don't want to waste your time, And I'm looking at the screen. Of course, on the screen, I'm trying to find the mouse pointer, but it's hard for me to find. Like, oh fuck. So because it was all white and blended in with, so it made me look even worse. But I walked out of there about an hour after going in the whole weekend, and that's another thing that it kind of taught me. It's a blind side. I was taught, man, you gotta fucking get over the worrying, man. You don't know what's going to happen. So just the wasted energy of worrying. It's just such a fucking waste,
man.
Well,
the thing is, I think, too, you want to, you're afraid that if you don't worry, and then you get there and it's fucked up, you at least got, oh, well, I kind of thought, or I kind of had a feeling. But just getting in there and getting blindsided, like you said, it's like, fuck.
But you're going to get blindsided anyways, because you're going to think, because that's one of the things I was thinking about. Yeah, my eyesight. But then I was also thinking, what if I got this job? And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, yeah, and they let me go. Then I'm fucking floundering around trying to find another job. So it's like,
well, especially when she said this job doesn't have very good security.
Job security is, it's a quota based job, so you have to get a certain amount, and if you don't, then you might not. So there's some pressure, and I'm like, so this guy also got me, as we both know, the gig syndrome, man, can get into.
Oh boy, you starting to get that again?
Well, no, I've had that because the grass is greener, but it also made me think. Well, gigs, not gigs for here. No, I'm not moving.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was like, oh, don't tell me.
If I'm moving anywhere, it's to a bigger city up northwest. I'll never go back to Vegas or anything like that. But it just got me thinking. My job now. It's not the greatest job, but I kind of know it. My boss is hella cool. She understands my visual issues. So it's like that gigs though. It's like, oh well, maybe it'll be better. You'll make more money, and yeah, maybe. But what I need to do is just just kind of let this job
come from where you're at.
It's never going to be that comfortable because I'm in a defective-based department.
Oh,
I may have mentioned this before.
Oh shit!
Defective-based.
People always call you with things that are broken and shit.
Well, they're calling me about their shit not getting there. Basically, It's all about every call's about I don't have my stuff.
Damn.
And that's sometimes it's I don't care, and sometimes I need this or else I'm going to lose my job.
Right.
So, because basically they'll say, I need this tomorrow or else I can't do the job and they're going to fire me. How am I going to, then I have to try to help them. And, so there's a lot of negativity in the job. It's a lot of negative vibes, a lot of just people that are pissed and that have just had it up to here and they're yelling at me, so. But it's also getting over it because there are a lot of other jobs that are worse than that people have,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You could have a really fucked up job where you have a boss that's a complete bully or dickhead.
I could be fucking sitting out in getting up at 5 a.m. and going out and working on some fucking roof all day,
Oh God,
fall
yeah.
off a
Or
roof
in
and
115 degree weather.
break my fucking neck on a roof or whatever, or doing some other shit, or even well, living in a country where I don't have the worry, which my to time to worry about worry, because
Right.
most other places you don't, if or the worst place in the world, if you're worried about food, then that's what you're going to worry. You're not going to worry about your place and the meaning of things.
Oh no, of course not. You don't have time for that.
So I'm
shit.
kind of at the point now where I'm like, well, fuck it. I just do it. Just get through the day, get through your work, enjoy your time off. Just do it and let it fall off you, man. Don't let it go. Right. Fuck, this sucks. I hate being here, because that's all that's going to do is make it worse. It's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like in the middle of that. Obviously, I'd look for something else, and I'd like to find something.
Yeah, if you find something better, obviously. But I mean, you're not beating the bushes, going, I can't do this anymore. Because there was that one job you had, remember, where you're like, dude, I can't do this shit anymore. I gotta quit.
Yeah.
Remember? Well, there were a few like that. The KLAV was one. And then there was something else, a phone one you were doing.
Oh, there was when I was doing the roadside assistance.
Yeah, roadside assistance. Yep.
And then I jumped into the job after that, and I had to get out of that. So that's another thing. It's all jumping into different jobs, and that's another thing that my friend Snapping Turtle told me, because she's like, dude, the same thing happens all the time with you. So what you need to do is just kind of just deal with this, just deal with it and go with it, and just take you're doing, your boss keeps telling you do good work. I'm not worried. You're
right.
fine.
It's not like they don't like you.
I'm not worrying about it, so you don't worry about it. Stop worrying about the time of your call, because my time on calls is longer because of my eyesight, basically.
Right. You have to look up shit and take you
longer. She keeps telling me, don't worry about it. Everything else is fine. If you had an issue already, we would have you would have already been talked to about it. So basically, my thing is just doing the job and just get.
Seems like we spend more time. It's funny, as you get older, you spend more time worrying about shit.
Yeah, you do.
Stressing. As opposed to when you're a kid, you look forward to things. You didn't have any
fear.
This
is going to be a new experience, and now it's like, this is going to be a new experience.
Yep. Like, I don't know about that, man. I don't really.
It's like you get to a point. I wonder if that changes, because it seems like as you get older. Like right now in our lives, like we're in that dip, that midlife, where we're kind of
like we could lose it all.
But it seems like later on, some people either break that and they go, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna enjoy my life." Woo!
Oh yeah, there's a point, but I don't know, man. I just don't want to fuck up shit for myself and then be like sitting there going, "Oh fuck, now what do I do?" You know. And
that's the thing. We want everything safe and comfortable because we're used to that.
Right.
So sometimes we need to break things up. We need to change. Like I said, if I find the right opportunity to move on to a different job, I'm going to do it. Right. But I need to just let things relax, man. Just really. Oh shit! Ow.
Spend more time worrying. What was that? Your chair?
Yeah, my chair. I fucking rocked up onto the little metal part under my table.
Shit.
And I rocked up onto my fucking hand, like bruised. Ow.
That FIFA, man. There's always some fuckery.
Always something. But that's kind of like this whole saga, this whole week, last week, and then I go back to the other job and I'm like, back here. But then I'm also like, dude, this really isn't that bad. You're just being a bitch, kind of. It's kind of like being a bitch boy.
Well,
you get into that mindset, man, where you just I gotta do this and this. Like, yeah, you do, but you got a roof over your head. You know
what? And I find myself even doing it sometimes too, like worrying about certain events that I got to do, and we're going to be there all day, man. Oh, shut.
And then you get there, and you're like, this isn't that bad. It's not amazing.
No, but I mean, it's still, hey, it's like you said, it's a job, man. It's the way you eat.
Yeah, it's a job. But you want the job to be fun, exciting, and awesome, but then again, most jobs just aren't. And you just have to. People are doing this every day. They're going to shit jobs that they can't stand.
I mean, I love my job. You know, my shit. My job's kick ass.
But think about what I could do. Some guy was like, well, you could go to work at a Jimmy John's or something, and I'm like, oh god, like a sandwich shop, dude. Just think about standing around doing that all day again. Cause I did that before at Sotsky's, when I was the manager there.
I remember them days, man.
Yeah.
And the guy wanted to fight you.
Yeah.
The Subway guy or whatever.
The Quiznos guy's like, come out here, and I went out there like a dumbass. No, but that's. Do I want to go back? Because did I like that job? No, I mean, but you do it, and you get through it, and you just kind of gotta slug it off. You just gotta talk shit in your head, and about these fucking entitled people who get pissed off because they didn't get a package. I demand this, and you just gotta let it go, and and get off work and get through the week and then enjoy your weekends. And then, the problem was for a while. I was getting to the point where I get on my weekend and go, I got to go back there. It's like you ruin your fucking weekend, dumbass, because you're thinking
about work. Yeah, going back to work. Like,
and it's great. Like it's a bad habit, man. It's not good.
No, I would say not. But
so that's my kind of journey this week. So I'm kind of back now where I'm like, I got to go to work tomorrow, and I'm like, I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm not like, ooh. And then you just go and do it. Just get it done and get your money and just go home. Try to let it go. That's
all you can do. Shit.
So, yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not being, like I said, being bullied or fucked with or anything like that, and all your marks are good. You haven't been written up or any bad shit.
Never.
Then you're good.
Yeah. So stop being a bitch is basically it.
But what I wonder, this kind of is a nice little, kind of a interesting segue, because like, why would you take a job that you obviously couldn't do? Or wouldn't, it's like, again, I got a Lyft driver story. This motherfucker, okay, it says it on my profile. Don't pick this passenger up if you don't speak English.
Yes.
This guy shows up. I get in the car. I start to give him my address, and he stops me. He's going, no, sir. Sir, I don't know English. No English. And I'm like, then why the fuck did this motherfucker come and pick me up?
Because he couldn't read the part that it said no English, probably.
Well, it said it in other languages, though. That's what other drivers have told me. They say, it comes across in all these different languages, and I was like, oh shit. So yeah, dude. And the guy knew that. They wasn't supposed. But I figured out what happened later. The second driver that came for me, because I called Go Grandparent and said, hey, this guy doesn't speak English. I'm not riding with him, blah, blah, blah. But he was cutting me off. Like, he was telling me, I don't speak English, so I'm not going to take you, basically. So, but I'm like, why did you come to the call then, you dumb motherfucker? Mm-hmm. So, anyway, what the other driver told me was that sometimes, if an Uber driver gets turned, if they turn them down too much, or the rides cancel on them too much, or they cancel on rides, then their marks go down. Mm-hmm. But if the customer cancels, then it's okay. It doesn't ding them. But if they're canceling customers, that means that they're fucking morons usually. Mm-hmm. So that's why he wanted me to cancel the ride, I think, because he was originally set up for it, but he knew he couldn't do it. So that's why he wanted me to, cancel it on him instead of him canceling on me. Yes.
So which did you oblige the young man?
I did, of course. I got out of his car, and I just, because at first I was like, what? And he's like, no English, sir, no. And I'm like,
then why are you here? What are you? Yeah, that's you get in the car, and then you go, no English, because he probably realized you were blind. You were blind. And then
he probably picked that up.
And they were like, oh, he's like, oh shit, and then he, had to do that, which is, it's scary that they shouldn't. Okay. They shouldn't. This is the same thing with mine. Is that there's a lot of contracting thing going on with my job. So we've got a lot of people that are calling. And they're leaving notes on their shit to have, drop this off here, drop this off here. Well, the people that can't read that don't read those, so they never drop it off where they're supposed to.
So they're pissed off because it wasn't dropped off where they wanted it.
Yes, because they couldn't read, because some of the people couldn't read the stuff that they put on the packages info. So
oh, shit.
It's a clusterfuck basically, and it's really frustrating because it has, like we've talked about this so many times before. It's nothing to do with their fucking race. If they were French.
Yeah, it's the fact that
they had no English. No English. Yeah. You'd be like, fuck. The fuck, you stupid frog. Get the fuck out of my, face.
Yeah, exactly. Does that make you racist? No, I can't fucking stand you. I can't communicate with you. Mm-hmm. So that, I'm sorry, I can't roll with somebody like that,
It's incredible. That's why I don't understand why they should have that. There should be a basic requirement of any job requiring directions somewhere. You have to understand the language. It's very simple.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with the public and it's a place where you're not
if you're a gardener or a stock boy or something, that's different because you're not dealing with
people and doing language. Matter of fact, it's perfect. We don't need that. That's a great job. But if you're dealing with someone and you have to get directions from them. And you have to actually understand what they're saying, and they have to understand you, like a person at a cashier or anything like that, or anybody on the phone, or anybody who has to read certain things that need to be read. Then that's not discrimination. That's a job requirement. It'd be like me saying, hey, you know what? There's a bilingual position here open in customer service. Why aren't you going to hire me? Well, you don't speak Spanish. Well, that's racist.
Exactly.
What the hell? What the hell? Because they'd say the same thing. Well, why should they not have to speak? Well, because they can't.
Right.
So
right.
it's
and
a bilingual
shouldn't
position.
be doing the job.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I had another gym competent thing. This was at a fucking dermatologist, dude. So I got this thing on my back that keeps itching. It's like a pimple. Well, I guess it's a mole from what I found out. But anyway, I go to this Southwest Spermatology. That's what I'm going to call it. Southwest Dermatology. But I go there, and I had an appointment and everything. My appointment was for 3 o'clock. Get there at 3 o'clock. It takes them 30 minutes just to process all my shit and make, ask me the questions. They always do the questionnaires. Do you, how much do you weigh? Do you drink? Do you smoke? Do you this? Do you that? So anyway, they had to do that. Then she had to process my insurance. So here it is, 3:30. My ride was coming back at 4:20 something. So she says, and I told her that too. I said, so, my bus is coming in like an hour. So I kind of have to get back. And she's like, okay, I'm going to get you back there now. And I'm like, okay. So she walks away, never hear from her again, until I get the text from Paratransit that says they'll be there in 15 minutes. And I'm going, fuck. So now I've already paid my copay bullshit. So I go up there and I said, guys, I got to go. And the woman's like, oh, let me see if I can get you back. And I'm like, no, it's too late. Paratransit's not going to wait for me. I said, the best thing to do is to refund my money. So they did. But I mean, how gym competent is that, dude? Now you just fucking lost business. And I'm not going back to that dermatologist.
Well, with those, you probably have to just get that goddamn long-ass bus ride. You'd think an hour would be enough, but...
Yeah.
But, but when you're that first time going someplace, you just gotta probably just get an extra half hour to an hour on that motherfucker just to...
Well, the next time, I think, I'm going to just because the other place is pretty close to me, too. The one that I just scheduled the appointment with. So I may just take Go-Go Grandparent from there,
Yeah.
So
that's probably
that way I'm not
that
pressed for time.
Yeah,
none of
that
shit.
Fucking that bus there is like gotta go. So you just wasted like 2 hours of your time.
Yep, pretty much. So I'm like,
right. Yeah. So they just basically. That's lovely.
It was a typical Jimby drop the ball incompetent fucking your typical workplace today.
Well, I got to get there early too, so you can fill out that fucking shit, man. God, there's so much shit to fill out, man.
I know. It's all the paperwork, and I guess, she was reading it to me, and I was answering her questions, and then I had to give her my insurance card. Oh, that was the funny thing, too. This should have been a red flag, too. I pull out my insurance card, and she goes, oh, that's your pharmacy card. And I'm like, no, I think that's my insurance card. You're thinking of my credit card, that they give me, flexible spending shit, whatever. And so she's like, oh, yeah, okay, never mind. So
You're like telling her what card it is. That's great.
Yeah, she couldn't even distinguish, what was an insurance card. It's like, you work in that business, you dumb bitch. So, anyway, anything else, man?
Wow, no, I don't have, that's my big things, man.
I have one more thing I was going to tell you, a rum runner story. The thing you were going to give me shit for.
Oh, all right. rum runner report?
Rum runner report, yes.
All right, so what happened now?
There's 2 twins that work in there, Tiffany and Tiara, and they're both... They're twin. Well, I said they're twins, but they're I call them train. So Tiffany is a subway train, and Tiara is a regular passenger train. So I told Tiffany, I said, hey, you want to get a good tip tonight? I said, if you and Tiara join heads and say, bitch, we're train twins, then I'll give you a good tip.
Oh my
a really
goodness.
good tip. So they did it, and I'm like, all right.
And what did you give them? Like $2?
No, I gave her way more. I think I gave her like 15 or 20 or something.
Oh, wow. You're already just kind of faded at that point, I assume.
Oh, I was very faded, yes.
Like, could you just do a train during a year? These girls, maybe these girls, are they cool, or are they kind of like,
No, they're cool. They totally,
My point is, like, are they possibilities for the future?
Dating? I don't know if I would date either.
Are you riding the passenger train? Because at that point, they're probably like, this fucking...
Well, Train, this is how she got the name. Her twin, Tiara, when I guess she was walking me. Yeah, because I came there with Steve that one time. And she's like, here, guys, let's go over here. And then so she kind of grabs our hand, and we're doing like a train, and she starts making train sounds. So she does that every time. When I'm going to the bathroom or whatever, if she sees me, she'll come up, she'll be like, chugga, 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 chugga. I'm like, normally it's very...
condescending.
Yeah, it could be condescending, but in this case, I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna make a lemon out of lemonade here. And I was like, okay, you guys are train twins.
So that's not as funny as the Comic-Con thing for me, because it's like I'll go watch the Glubadors and the Dragon King and the fucking superhero man, fucking Super John, whatever, and fucking
right. I don't know any of these people, and yet I'm gonna go to this thing.
I don't give a shit, because afterwards I'll fucking might have a chance of feeling like a.
Well, no, I just thought the train twin thing was funny, because you usually do give me shit about that, so
Ah, well, what are you gonna do, man? Anyways,
yeah. But on that motherfucking
note, this has been a like I said, this week has been a very sometimes you gotta kick yourself in the face and tell yourself you're a dick face, and get
and just face dick faceness head on,
Exactly, that's just the way it works. But anyways, this has been the Nothing Sacred Show for the 12th of March 2018. I am Cruise Control.
I am Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the story there, bitches! La 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 la. Racist bastards, fucking racist motherfuckers.